You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets. Come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests when we got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh at memes, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets. Come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 3, Episode number 4. And today, we welcome Brad to the show. Welcome, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the show, man. I was saying before the show, dude, I love the setup. Looks really cool.
Thank you.
So clean, dude. So clean. My room looks
I
like
was saying
chaos.
before the show, because it's not my team. You're a fan between rugby teams. You wouldn't know the team, Joe.
No, you are correct. I do not know. I used to
So,
date a girl.
Brad,
that played rugby.
for everyone who doesn't know you, please introduce yourself.
I'm Brad. My handle is Brad_EXP on everything. I'm from North Queensland in Australia, and I've been gaming since the PlayStation 1. And since then, the house has always had PlayStation consoles and Nintendo consoles. And now the household has every console.
That's right. That's how you do it.
Yeah. I also review games on my gaming news and review website NextPlay, which we will get into later, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, nice.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
thanks
man.
so much for coming on the show, Brad. It's awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think I can't speak for everybody, but when I was a kid, I just always remember like dreaming about having every video game I ever wanted. Like I used to fantasize about that when I was a child. So like as an adult, I'm not surprised what happened. To be honest with you at all. I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. No one could stop me from doing that ridiculous thing now. I am gonna get all the consoles. I'm gonna get all the games. I'm gonna get everything I want.
Especially when you're a kid and you find a game that's like amazing and you're like, there's games out there like this. Like, I want to play everything. So I find all these like amazing games that are out there.
The amount of games I rented over and over again at video stores because we couldn't afford them. Yeah.
RPGs, so many. Like that's how I played the vast majority of the SS and SNES RPGs. Was doing that. I would rent them. I remember renting Lufia and Lufia 2 and like all those games. Final Fantasy Paladin's Quest or whatever. Mystic Quest, maybe. I don't remember. But yeah, I remember that back in the day. That's how you had to do it. Because
All
like
right,
you
the
said,
games that you're nostalgic about that you played them as a kid, but you realize you didn't actually play the game. You just played the demo, and you've only like played an hour of the game like 30 times, and then you get to experience the full game when you're an adult.
yeah, there was a lot of games too that like I would play at friends' houses that I never owned, but I'm still like super nostalgic for them because I'm just like, oh man, I remember playing that at that kid's house and I loved it. So
Yeah, Tekken 2. I never owned it, but I've played the whole thing at someone's house. You know,
oh, I
own it today.
For me, I think that happened the most with PC gaming, just because I like we never could afford a nice gaming PC back in the day. If we had a computer, it was not up to snuff. Let's just put it that way. Like I could play like Doom and Blood and Hexen and like the old 3D shooters and stuff, but nothing current or even close to current back then. So
No, I think that's a funny answer, Joe, because my experience was for PC gaming. If one of us had a game on PC, all of us had the game on PC. Wink, wink.
true. But
The console gaming was different. Like, you know, PS1, there was definitely like a lot of burnt discs floating around. But like, once you got into the PS2 era, it was like, you know, legit games. Well, that was it.
yeah, I didn't have many pirated games. Did you do any? Did you have any like burnt games and stuff back then, Brad? I did.
Not
for PlayStation.
Really. For I think Nintendo DS, they had those R4 cards which you could load like hundreds of games on. But yeah,
I have one of those for sure. Yeah, so I modded a couple 3DSs just because it's so convenient. I'm just being honest with you. Just to put everything you want on it. But I still buy everything physically too. So I really have no guilt. That's the key.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I play my DS games on emulation on PC because that's how I enjoy playing them. But I still like to buy them physically in my favorite games, you know.
So the 3DS I like because I actually like enjoy the 3D feature quite a bit. So I find that playing the real games on the real hardware like has the feel that emulation doesn't. I don't know though. Do they make 3D monitors? Like, is it possible to play 3DS games?
That's a good question. I'm sure someone out there is working on or has created that technology. That's one of those things. Like, are you going to design something to play something that came out 10 years ago that you can't make money on because it's a Nintendo product?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't see, maybe like in 20 years you think like Analog would make a new 3DS, like they're making some new consoles or something like that. I don't know. I just like I have a feeling like that feature will live and die on the 3DS. I just don't see that 3D thing coming back.
Yeah, I hope that Nintendo remake a lot of the games that do have those features for like the Nintendo Switch, etc. You know, there's so many good games on the 3DS, and a lot of them do have, you know, the 3D functions.
I mean, you can play them in 2D, no problem. You don't need the 3D at all. Like, there's nothing wrong with emulating those games. They play fine. I'm just curious. Like I don't know. Like I said, I do like that feature. Like some games, like I don't know, like the Sega collection. Like, I play those games a million times, a million ways. But playing them on the 3DS like offers like a unique experience because of that little 3D feature. Like it's kind of cool. So like I like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's like a really big market for 3D anymore. You saw that 3D movies just vanished one day, forgotten about. And now you watch the movies back now and you can tell they were made for 3D.
Yeah, everything's just like
Yeah.
all the time. Like all the time, yeah.
And then there's all that like blue and red polygons around all these pictures and everything. I had fun with some of the games on PS3 that had like 3D glasses support and different things like that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Nice.
But again, it wasn't like a console selling feature. It was like a gimmick that was kind of like fun for a few hours, you know. It's not like I want to play the next Grand Theft Auto wearing 3D glasses or anything like that. I feel VR is the same for me personally, but I know you love VR, John.
I do. But like I don't like its current iteration. Like it's too cumbersome and bulky and awkward and sweaty and like there's a lot of things about it that I'm not a fan of. Like for example, like there's no ventilation in the helmet that I have. And so if you play any game that like makes you get hot or sweaty at all, it's just like your windows in your car that just gets everything inside gets insanely fogged up and you can't see anything. And it's like you have to constantly take it off and clean it and wipe it down and you know, all the time. And I find that just not to be a pleasant experience at all. Like I like don't understand like why there's no ventilation in the thing. There's no air coming in or out of it at all. There needs to be some cycle of airflow, just like in like a car when you turn on your defrost, defoggers or whatever. I can't even talk right now. Yeah, they need something because I don't know. I just don't like it. So I don't see VR like really like taking off until it's literally a pair of like swimming goggles where it's just like eye things that just go over your face and like that's it.
Yeah.
Like really lightweight, no wires. Like I'm talking like down the road when we can like just something like like what's his name? God damn it, the hell's wrong with Morpheus's glasses with the no rims? These like puts on, what I'm saying? Once it's to that point and it's not like a big cumbersome thing, I think it would be like a lot better.
Yeah. Are you still using a VR2 today? Is that what you decided to do?
That's what I still have right now. I'm going to build a new PC soon, and I'm going to get a new PC headset. I'm not going to use the PSVR 2. I'm sick of it.
I'm sure it'll break between the time where that happens, so you'll be able to return it and be like, no, I want a refund this time. This is like the 6th time. What's going on?
No, I figured out what's going on. It was honestly, there's some sort of software problem on the PS5. My first PS5 that was causing a specific error that makes it so it can't upload and download save data or some shit like that. I don't remember what it is. There's a specific error, and it nukes your headset if the error happens while you're playing in your VR. If it happens, it the software, it screws up your PSVR headset and makes it so it won't power cycle correctly. Because I literally like tried to fix it a million times, and I think I did, but I have a second PS5.
Yep.
And that has no problem. I like it at all. And so I've just been using it on that, and I've had no issues whatsoever. And I've been playing it for a couple months now since I got it back.
So obviously Sony have got problems that they're not aware of.
Well, I don't know what. Yeah, exactly. It's an unfixable thing, and what they really need is it needs some sort of reset feature on the headset. It has no like factory reset button or anything like that, like default settings, nothing.
Yeah, I guess.
It needs something like that, because if I guarantee you they're just getting it back and they're just like redoing the firmware or something. They're like, you know what I mean? Like reinstalling all the stuff, and then that fixes it. I guarantee you it's some stupid thing like that, where it's like, it's a coding problem where it can't communicate correctly. It tries to update something and then it can't, and it gets stuck in this endless loop and it keeps causing it to crash over and over again. Some sort of coding problem.
It's weird how they overlooked something like that. I have a PSVR 2 as well. Barely used it. I feel like they've just not PlayStation haven't really put any first-party games out for it, except for Horizon, and then the Resident Evil games came out. I find like most of the games on PSVR 2 are just gimmicky. Like, I'm a killer for like a good story, and I feel like most lack that.
I'm surprised that just like most major titles don't include a VR mode at this point. Like, you feel like they would invest in that more and ask the developers to do that. Maybe pay them extra to put some sort of thing in there for it, because, like you said, there's just not a lot of big party titles. There are tons of games though. Like, I don't want to talk like there's not games for the VR 2, because if you go on, there's just tons of games. But
but it's their hardware though. Like, they should be making some first party games to sell the hardware.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, you've got to look at it like it's almost a system within a system. And why would someone buy another system to play a couple of games that look like gimmick games? You have to have AAA exclusive games that you have to buy the VR to play it, and everyone's talking about it, and it's like game of the year contention, and that's the things that sell. Like Skyrim, when it first came into VR, people were talking about it, and I didn't play it myself, but I heard it was a great experience, and I'm sure a lot of people went out there and bought the VR1 just to play Skyrim.
Mhm.
Like, what if they got for the VR2 right now that you can say, as a console seller? I know you play Beat Saber like, religiously, and that's what you would definitely
That's
buy
not.
for it. But
No, I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
even buy it for that. It's the worst platform to play on because you can't play any custom songs. It sucks. Like it's so much better to like. That's one of my biggest regrets is I got Beat Saber on like a like that was one of the games that I was just waiting for it to come out physically before I picked it up, and it just never did, and it never will. Like, I just don't think it'll ever happen. So I was like, fuck it, I'll pick it up, and then I really enjoyed it. And now like I'm like I wish I had the PC version because there's just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of amazing custom songs and like mods too. Like I can make my lightsabers look cooler. What the hell, man? Why don't they have cool lightsaber features in the PS? What? It's just bland. I don't know. Yeah. And also like I'm sorry to keep going on about this. They still haven't gotten the chat feature working on PlayStation 5 to like you can't see chat in your helmet. All you can do is put the audio on and have a robot like read you the chat, which is shite. I'm just being honest with you because like first of all, I'm playing a music game with rhythm. So the last thing I really want is to hear, "Hey, you fat bastard," while I'm trying to play a song or whatever. I'm trying. It's not like
not to
cool.
mention you have no idea who you're talking to, so they might be like
Yes.
saying something that you assume you're going to know the conversation, but you don't know the conversation if you don't know the person you're talking to.
Correct. So everyone just goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Yay."
Hey, so and so that I don't know your name.
Exactly. Sup? Hope you aren't my ex-girlfriend. Hello. Who you?
I'm sure I told you in the voice to speech at some point as well.
Oh yeah, of course. And why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you? I mean, I would too. You're playing a rhythm game, and it's like I said, it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all.
I'm like, oh, it says anything?
So yeah, I'd rather have it just pop up in the headset, and that's really irritating because that they had that on PSVR 1, worked fine. You can just
Why
play
take
and
away a good feature?
chat
If it's
would-
not broken, don't fix it. It's like
Well,
the team who made the PSVR 2 isn't the team who made the PSVR 1.
if you go in, it's got like the options to do that and everything, but it's just like not available. It's like grayed out permanently. You can't turn it on. It's so stupid. Like allow overlays, it says you want to allow overlays. You're like, yeah, that would be great. They're like, nah, you can't actually do that. I'm like, oh,
Like, wouldn't that be a good idea?
yeah, it basically. And so what'll happen is this 100% is I'll spend like $2,000 on a PC. I'll buy like a $500 headset. I'll get it all set up. And then like a week later, they'll be like, we did it. It works now on the PlayStation.
Yeah, but then you'll actually have good games to play.
Well, I'll have more games to play for sure. I do want to play Half-Life Alyx very badly, and I'm still shocked that hasn't come to PlayStation VR 2. So, come on, Steam. It's like one of the only games that people want to play on PlayStation VR. I don't know. What games did you buy for it, Brad? You said you had one, right?
I've forgotten what it. Before Your Eyes, I did a review for that. And a very emotional experience. You're a child and you watch yourself grow up over the course of like 4 hours or so through certain moments in your life, and every time you blink it skips to the next moment in your life.
Oh wow! So you just sit there and you're like,
yeah,
ah!
literally straining your eyes open so you don't skip the dialogue or cutscene. But yeah, it was good. Not really much gameplay in it aside from blinking, but it was a good experience.
I wonder if any horror games have like utilized that eye tracking to that, like you're in a scary spot. If you blink, it literally makes something jump scare you, and then you blink it go away or something like that. That would be creepy.
I did read about one last year. I don't know if it's out yet, but I don't even know what it's called. But there is a horror game that tracks your blinking, which sounds absolutely terrifying.
If I made horror games, and I heard you could do that, like, just haven't you seen those movies where you blink and there'll be a creature in a room that's like 50 meters away? You blink and suddenly it's like right in front of you. Like, oh my god!
I would literally staple my eyelids open.
So
if you knew your blinks are the reason that it's coming, oh my god!
the new Until Dawn game, I can't remember what the hell it's called. The newest
The
one.
Quarry.
No, it's the VR one though. It's like the Rush of Blood sequel.
I did play that. Yeah.
That had like a section that has like creatures, and if you blink, they get closer to you and stuff. They had that in there, but it's just like a short little thing. So yeah, I think that obviously the best the genres that like they should focus on obviously are horror. There should be like pushing that, and there should be like really big budget horror games. Like I don't know why not make like a new Outlast or something like that in VR. That'd be terrible. That'd be, oh my god. I actually don't want to play that. Don't make that. Never mind.
I don't even want to play Outlast on console, let alone VR.
It's so scary, dude. Yeah, I was actually thinking, I'm like, never mind. Actually, that would probably be too scary. And more like car games, racing games for sure. Like those are like the best experiences. So I really think they have an opportunity to do something special with a new Twisted Metal game if they could do that right. Like if they could make it so you could be in the car and play in VR and play Twisted Metal, that would be sick, man.
So I have a question for you, Joe. You might be able to answer this. Are there any games that VR have incorporated with racing sims?
You mean like
Because
GTA?
I was just thinking from a person who
GTA,
Gran
Turismo,
racing games, they're going to go the way of the racing sim. But...
yeah, Gran Turismo is like
like
the best. Yeah, it's like an amazing experience if you want that. But there should be more, and there should be other than just sim games. Like I don't know, like I said, there should be like Mud Runner. There should be Crazy Taxi. It should be, you know what I mean? Like put more fun games, arcade games. Why not freaking Mario Kart or some shit like that? Put a kart racer. Why not play? You know how?
No, we had
there any
VR karts. I heard that was really good on PS.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yes, it was. We should have more than that, and it should be called something other than VR carts. It should have like a you know, some sort of intellectual property attached to it. Maybe try to like invest some money in it. You know what I mean? Like pretty much the entire like library is this VR, VR this, VR that VR this VR. Like that's just like okay, like, you know, I don't know. It needs more soul to it, and like you said, Brad, it needs more stories and stuff. It just can't be like a sim experience like all the time. It can't just be like, I don't know. It needs to be more engrossing.
I'm almost
I feel like we're still in the age where they haven't hit like this is what VR can do, and this is the type of games that like are on VR. Like right now, the best games are like normal games that just have a VR mode, or a lot of like remember when we first got mobile gaming and you just got like random basic games. I feel like VR just has a lot of games like that.
Yeah,
and eventually we'll get like breakthrough titles that, you know, are an amazing experience, and the only way to play them is to play them with VR. Like Beat Saber is a pretty good example, but there's going to be games down the line that's like full AAA experiences, and it's all in VR. And that's when people start, you know, going out to buy VRs. The average person, not just because they want the VR, but just to play that game and different things like that. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I think maybe the PSVR 2 just didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. So, I mean, isn't it almost the same price as a PS5?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and people are struggling to buy PS5s at the moment. So
yeah, and Sony haven't given it like full support. You know, it didn't come out with a big title. Like, you know, there's hardly any games for it, as there is. You don't walk into a shop and see VR2 games on the shelf.
Oh, that's another thing. There's like no physical games for it either, which has put me off buying stuff for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's maybe a dozen so far.
Yeah,
I bought like 6. There's 6 of them. and I 7 of them, excuse me. But like, yeah, I kind of stopped collecting them because even the ones that are available physically aren't necessarily killer. Like some of them are cool, but yeah, they're not the best.
Well, I think another big selling point for the VR1 was how cheap a lot of the games were. Like, if you were looking for games to play and you were like, oh, these are all $10 games, this is cool. And you're like, the only way I can play them is the VR. You might buy them just for the fact that all the games are cheap, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if they're all digital, etc., then it's just one of those things. But that's the world that we're moving into these days.
So I'm not. I know this sounds strange, but like I love physical collecting. Obviously, I collected the full PSVR 1 set, but as the technology goes on, like I feel like VR especially will be a digital experience. Like it's especially because like we said, like a lot of the games aren't necessarily these giant fleshed out experience. There's just like, would you like to play Pong in VR? Would you like to, would you like to cut fruit in VR?
Would you like to play this
Would
game
you like to
play
Yeah.
50 times in like 50 different ways over your life in a new way? That's all it is, exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of those little bite-sized experiences that should be cheap little things like you would buy like a mobile game almost. Like they're just these little fun things. And they are fun. They're good for a while, but they're not going to keep you invested.
I'm sure
And-
Sony are working on right now The Last of Us in VR.
I would buy it.
That would be better. That would be that would be a great
And then,
game.
then you know what the next plan will be? The Last of Us 2 in VR. And then they'll do remastered versions.
And then remake the Last of Us VR. Yeah.
You take out more of the DLC, because people don't actually want to play the online mode today, do they? No.
I think like I've been saying they should just skip part 3 and just go straight to part 3 remastered. That's what I think they should do. Just go right to it, baby. Just why waste time?
They just need to release it. They just need to release it with the new console, not 6 months before the new console comes out, because they did that with both games.
Yeah.
The Last of Us came out just before the PS4, and The Last of Us 2 came out just before the PS5.
I genuinely thought it was a joke when I read The Last of Us 2 is being remastered. It's still like a brand new game in my mind on PS4. There's no difference. From a PS4 to a PS5 game.
How are the sales on that game? Like, because the physical was insanely cheap for that for a long, long time. Last of Us 2, like I got over $9.99, I think. I'm just curious, like, did it even sell? Did it, like, I don't know. I feel like they didn't make as much money on as they invested in it. And they're just like, we need to sell it again. We need to sell it again. We need to sell it again. Like, I don't know. A lot of people gave the same criticism to Spider-Man 2. They were just like, a lot of the same reused assets and reused type of stuff from
Apparently it sold 10 million copies.
That's not bad.
Especially in the middle of a pandemic when some people weren't even working.
Yeah.
The first one sold 18 million, significantly more.
And it was
those they spent more money on
it's an exclusive too, so that's, you got to consider that too. So that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like that's like, what did Tears of the Kingdom sell? I think they sold like 18 million of that or something like that.
Oh, it'd be even higher today, yeah. But it's hard to compare with a Nintendo title. I know it's exclusive to exclusive, but I would say
we can do.
if you've got PlayStation, there's so much more choice. When you've got Nintendo, the average person who gets Nintendo buys all the exclusives. I'll buy all the Mario, all the Zelda games, all the Pokemon games. Where on PlayStation, you might buy a few exclusives, not buy a few of the other exclusives. Like, I don't own all the PlayStation exclusives. I own all the Nintendo exclusives. I got way more PlayStation games.
That's actually true. Never thought about that. I don't feel as obligated to buy all the PlayStation exclusives, but I want all the Nintendo first-party games for sure. I do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all of them. Some of them I
but
begrudgingly buy. I'd probably say.
When you look at the top 10 sales, it's all those games that you're like, yep. But if you look at PlayStation, like if I don't know, Until Dawn, I'm not into Until Dawn, or Days Gone, I'm not into Days Gone. There's plenty of big titles that they do that I'm like, man, all the big Nintendo ones I want.
I feel
you
like Nintendo's games like all cater to like one demographic, whereas all of PlayStation's titles are like you'll only like half of them or whatever.
That's fair.
Which would mean PlayStation make a little bit of everything, which is better in the long run. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's true. I mean, Nintendo just doesn't I think we've talked about this in the past. Like Nintendo always had that kid-friendly image, and they didn't seem to they don't make any like darker content at all. Not that there isn't darker content on their consoles, because there is. I'm just not saying that, but it's like they've never been focused.
No, but it's not. It doesn't have made by Nintendo. It's like Resident Evil. It's also on PlayStation. It's also on Xbox. It's also on PC. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I don't know. When I was a kid, I always felt like when I transitioned to PS1, like I thought that I was kind of gonna grow out of gaming. Like I thought it was just gonna remain like a very childish hobby with like Mario and Yoshi and little cutesy stuff, and it was gonna be like Ninja Turtles for me or something like that. Like something I love and I treasure, but it would be relegated to the past as I got older. Anyway, then PlayStation 1 came out and it was just like, nah, dude, we're gonna fucking Twisted Metal and Legacy of Kain and freaking Resident Evil and all this badass shit. And I was like, what is this? Never mind. I'm not going anywhere. I was hooked so back into gaming from the PlayStation 1 because I felt like it offered a more mature experience than, jumping on turtles or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just blew me away. You guys feel the same way? I don't know.
I was lucky. I grew up with the PS1, so I got to see those games growing up.
Yeah.
How old are
I
you?
get to see games that I'm like, I shouldn't be playing this, but I'm having so much fun, you know.
I'm 29.
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting I'm an old man. Yeah, that's what I've always been used to. All right, so like when we were kids, like I said, like there wasn't a lot of badass shit, like scary games or anything like that. Like there was like Splatterhouse, Ghouls and Ghosts. There was a few scary games, freaking Friday the 13th on NES, bros.
I mean, like, we were the generation with like Grand Theft Auto Vice City and San Andreas.
Yes,
out,
well, like not that sort of edgier, more mature content like didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so like I was at that perfect age where like I loved the Super Nintendo and I was played like Final Fantasy Sticks and all those games and Genesis, and like I said, I kind of thought that that's gaming was just going to stay that way. But then when PlayStation came out, they were like, no, like we're going to keep pushing it and making it crazier and upping it and scarier and weirder, and we're going to do horror games. And like there were no horror games. Like
check out these JRPGs, how awesome they are, and there was so much
dude.
stuff on there.
Heck yeah, man. And then they had cinematics and voice acting. Oh my god, you guys have like you don't even remember, like we were so blown away by the fact that there were cutscenes at all.
So you know what, like that type of stuff didn't blow me away. You know what blew me away when I was younger in those type of games? Playing like racing games, and there would be like 400 cars in the one game, and you could find your dream car and like unlock your dream car and race it on all these dream racing tracks. And that was the type of stuff that I'm like, wow, like I wasn't really internet back then, but I always remember like having a dream Porsche that I owned in this one game and different things like that. It's a Porsche 959 for context, if anyone's interested.
If anybody wants to send one to my PO box,
send me like a $4 million car.
Yeah. What were your favorite genres growing up, Brad?
Platformers, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, RPGs like Pokemon. Then as I got older, Final Fantasy was a big series, still is. And yeah, The Last of Us, Zelda, Pokemon, Final Fantasy, they're my go-to games.
Nice. Yeah, I just started playing Final Fantasy 16. I mentioned that before we started, and I've been enjoying it. Yeah, a lot of cutscenes again. So now that's what I was gonna say. Like, I've gone from wow a cutscene to being like, oh my god, let me play. For God's sakes, I want to cut stuff up with my sword. Can we just go? So, but
It's a type of game that you don't want to skip the cutscenes though, because
I was
you've watched
gonna say,
everyone up until that point. And you're like, if I skip this one, I'm gonna lose the story.
the story has been really good so far, and I have enjoyed it. So I'm not complaining. It's been fantastic, and I do really like the main protagonist, Clive. Dude, he's kind of a badass. He's got freaking little wolf, dude. What? Let's go. I'm all about
Clive.
it.
Speaking of the little wolf, I've got.
Oh, dude, I'm like actually insanely jealous because I'm literally in this game right now.
So soft
And
too.
he's so cute, dude, and he's so badass, dude.
I love
Oh
him.
man, hell yeah, dude. Who doesn't want a protagonist that has a badass puppy that you can command to like shred, and he heals you too? He even heals you. Like, bro, this dog is the best, dude. He's the best. I find the difficulty approach to the game pretty interesting too. They have like the different actual difficulties, and then they have the like, items you can equip that make the game easier. That's really fascinating. I kind of like that. That's an interesting option.
Can you explain more? I don't understand.
So they have these like rings or some shit. I can't remember, or relics. I don't know what the hell they call them, but like each of them like have like certain attributes that make the game easier. So it's like one of them like is like it will just like use your healing potions for you when you need to automatically, instead of you having to like stop and pause or heal or manage your healing. So if you want to do that, I actually turned it on because I'm lazy and I really like it, and that made my life a lot easier. And then I think the same thing with like the dog. It has like commands, which you can also, if you wear that certain ring, it makes it so like it'll just do what it's supposed to do.
Okay,
Like that.
interesting.
Yeah, and then there's 3 other ones, but I'm only using that one just because I don't want to make the game too easy. But
So
that
my
already
second-
make the game a lot easier. You don't have to manage your potions. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Do you ever play like sport games where they'll have difficulty settings, and then inside the difficulty settings there'll be like sliders, so you can like adjust them further? When the new FIFA came out, the day later there was like a full guide on the best sliders to get the best difficulty settings and things like that.
That sounds very complicated.
It is, but there's people out there researching the numbers, so you don't have to do the hard work.
What I mean, what do you mean? What kind of like? What do you mean like the best difficulty? Like you want to make it harder,
You can
easier?
change your difficulty or the AI's difficulty, so you can change every single stat for every part of the game. So, like, usually in a FIFA game, there'll be one difficulty that's too easy and you beat teams 6-0, and then you put it up a difficulty and you're suddenly losing every game. So to find
I
that
see.
sweet spot's really hard.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you want it to be rewarding, but not easy in the same sense.
Yeah, no, I just put everything on the super hard setting, and I'm like suffer until I can do it. That's how I play. And
I did the complete opposite. I started on the easiest one, and eventually I go up until it's too easy, and then I go up until it's too easy. And right now I'm on the second hardest difficulty, and I've been there for like 2 years, and I'm finally got to a point where I can win like 90% of my games. So I might have to jump up to the next one. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't always like a lot of like. It depends. Like, it's funny. Like, I love shmups on the harder difficulty, or like action games, or like 2D platformers, or something like that. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be really hard, then I want it to be. But I don't know. Does Final Fantasy 16 supposed to be really hard? I don't know. Is it? Or is you supposed to enjoy the story and kind of have a good time? I mean, most of there's not like a lot of combos or anything, as far as I can tell. Maybe it opens up more. So.
difficulty is a really interesting concept. So I don't know if we've spoken about this before, but I don't like artificial difficulty. So in games like you just mentioned, Joe, where it's got like 6 different difficulty settings, the way it makes it harder is it'll just be like, say, a shoot 'em up, for example. It'll put more bullets on the screen, or it'll make the boss's health bigger, or things like that, where it's just like artificial difficulty. So I love the Dark Souls series, where it's not artificial. It's got one difficulty setting, and to make the game harder or easier, you equip better items, or like speedrunners or challenge runners will take the items off, will play the game on level 1, because the difficulty is the difficulty, where there's no artificial making, we'll just double the boss's health, and that's hard mode. Like, it might sound good in theory, but it's not good game design. Or I love games that just have that one difficulty, and I think it's really good game design.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the way that Dark Souls does it. So it depends on how lazy they are with it, because, like you said, some games will just make the bullets faster, and they'll, like you said, like they'll have more health or whatever. But like a good shmup, like you get new patterns, you get completely new bullet patterns on the harder difficulties. Like so, like
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like I don't know.
So that's where the game developers aren't lazy, and they've actually, they care about the people playing their games, and they realize that you probably play all the difficulty levels and realize that you just doubled the speed and don't change things. It's exactly the same. But that's really cool that they do that.
So like a good shmup, I think if you're designing it, you're supposed to start actually at the hardest setting, and you design that first and make that perfect and make that as tight as it can be, and then you actually just remove difficulty for the easier player settings for the players. That's how it should be. So like if I'm playing a shmup and I play it on the normal setting, like the patterns that I see are like training for the real pattern that's coming in the hard mode. So it'll be like this is the idea of the pattern, but you have like a lot of space. And then once you play on the hard difficulty, it's the same idea where you have to kind of make the same movements, but now it's tight and like there's no room, and like it's like trained you to do that. If that makes sense.
Well, you just mentioned
I can't beat the hardest difficulty on shmups. I always do the second to hardest difficulty. I do the third like to the max, because the hardest are usually like you have to be a god. I'm sorry, you have to just be a gaming god to do this stuff. It's just it's the same thing I feel about Beat Saber when you watch like the expert plus insane people like getting 93% SS, and it's just like what. No missing on like just crazy patterns. I'm like, that's just another level. Like to me, that's like watching the professional athletes playing something as opposed to just me being a really good amateur at something. Like I might be really good at my local softball league or something. I could be crushing a dude hitting homers all day, but I'm never gonna play the majors. Like I would get killed, and I'm cool with that. I'm happy to be good at enough to enjoy the activity. I don't need to be the master.
You mentioned a point before that some games are designed with one difficulty setting, and I think that's especially important for like action games or RPGs to know that the game, if you are picking a certain difficulty, that the game's been designed about that. Because there's nothing worse than picking, say, the hardest difficulty and getting stuck on a boss. And the reason you're stuck on the boss is because the game was designed around the difficulty setting under, and it's next to impossible to actually beat it. And people beat it online and celebrate, but you've just spent 2 hours grinding this thing that wasn't meant to be that hard. It's only hard because the game wasn't designed about that, and it's just bad game design. So and like when games come out, they'll have like a recommended mode, and you're always like, is this the mode that they designed the game around, or is this the mode that I'm meant to have fun on? Or I do like today how they have options for story mode only. I think that's great because there's people out there that, I mean, look, I don't think it should be in Dark Souls, but I know there's people out there that want to play a lot of games that can't, but they can play them with story mode. Like, big AAA games you can buy these days, like Baldur's Gate, for example. You can play Baldur's Gate with story mode and just have no gameplay whatsoever and have a great time and see the story like a movie, because there's people out there who want to do that. But I'm personally not a fan of difficulty settings in especially like AAA story-driven games. I like the games to be designed around the one difficulty setting, and it's hard because the developers wanted it to be hard. It's not hard just because they doubled the health and didn't play it themselves and artificially just made it hard.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing about that too, which I think is cool about Dark Souls, is if you have just one difficulty, it creates like a really strong shared experience for people who've completed the game. So like if you struggled on boss X, and you're like your mate's like, I just beat boss X. You're like, bro, nice. You know what I mean? I remember. Like it was, and you know that it was the same. It was the same for them. Like you know that it was difficult. You know that they didn't cheese it, or they couldn't put it on easy mode, or they didn't just over level it or whatever. You know, maybe they did. I don't know how that's some of that.
I've got a criticism of Dark Souls 2.
Mhm.
The Sekiro did perfect, and Dark Souls allow you to summon people online. So like I've got plenty of friends who are like, yeah, I beat this boss, and I later find out that they just summoned some dude on the internet, overpowered it. But Sekiro, you can't do that. So someone's like, I beat this boss in Sekiro. You're like, oh man, you grinded for that because there's no cheeses for that boss. Like there's only one way to kill this boss.
Sekiro, literally, like I put that game down. That game was too
Me
hard for
too.
me.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
I have a confession. I am still stuck on the final boss of the game, and I'm like overpowered, and like, I haven't touched it for 2 years, so I'm gonna have to like start again or just start grinding where I am. So I might need to start again.
2024 goal right there, man. You need to. What you need is to put on like a nice freaking headband. Do like a nice 80s montage, and then you need to sit down and you need to beat that boss, bro. All right. If you're on the last boss, you can do it. I couldn't beat like the first boss. So I gave up.
Nah, the last boss is the thing that like you have to fight. I mean, I'm giving away a little bit of spoilers here, but it's got 5 forms or something with like 5 full health bars. You have to be perfect for a long time, and I had points where I was like 3 hits away from finishing it like twice. It broke me, man.
God.
You put a game down for a little bit, and it just hits that point where it's too much time to pick it up again and play it. Like I have to restart the game and do it all again. But yeah, it does sound fun for a challenge this year. It's definitely on my bucket list. But I'm grinding GeoGuessr right now, so I don't know if I'll be playing anything else for a while.
Yeah, I know how that is, dude. I kind of felt similarly to Binding of Isaac Repentance, because I loved Afterbirth Plus and 100%ed it like on 3 files. Like I went crazy with that game. And then Repentance, like it had some just god awful unpleasant things in it. I'm telling you, man, like it's not fun. Like some of the new characters are just the pure torture. And so I put it down because I was just feeling like really discouraged. But like this year, I'm like, no, I'm finishing this. I'm at least completing 1 file at least. And I beat the Tainted Jacob character the other day, and that is probably the worst one. Either that or the one that were the lost character. You can basically you have to beat the whole game without getting hit at all, which is kind of insane. So you can overpower them if you get lucky with items, because it's one of those games where you get random items, so you can get like a great combination that makes that specific character a little easier to handle. But God, dude, it's brutal. But yeah, man, you got to pick it up and finish it. So
I've got an idea, Joe. I got an idea. So I reckon between you and me, we could name like 10 games that we didn't finish because we got stuck on one certain part. Like there's so many games that I got stuck on a certain part and just never returned. I reckon we should do a whole episode around it, and the viewers vote which game we finish, and between us, like we have to go and finish that one game that they vote for.
Oh God! Well,
sounds like torture, but it'll be fun.
If you got to finish Sekiro, good for you, man.
I've got more like, so I got the platinum trophy for Demon Souls on PS3. Right, I started it day it came out on PS5. I got 1 trophy left, and every time I return to it, because it's on like New Game Plus 3, I just can't do it. It's so hard. I have to restart the game and like get to that skill level again to get this 1 trophy.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I got the hardest trophy in the game. It's not even a hard trophy. It's just like getting all the spells or something that requires like multiple playthroughs of talking to certain people and doing blah, blah, blah.
You're right about having to like maintain the skill set though, because like when I'm doing the like same thing with like when I'm playing Isaac, if I hop around between multiple characters, I'm like bad. Like I need to like pick one and like really get used to the mechanics of that one character and like focus on it until I beat that whole card and then move on. Because if I go back to the character, like I don't know how to play it anymore. Like you have to get used to like all, especially So Tainted Jacob, like there's like a demon that spawns, and he literally just chases you the entire time you play the game, and he tries to murder you. And if he hits you, you turn into this guy called the Lost, and he has 1 health. If you get hit again, you die. So it doesn't matter how you could have full health, maxed out everything. It doesn't matter. If you get hit by this stupid bastard, you got 1 hit and you're dead. And it was like torture. Like I'm talking like 80 losses in a row, like torture, like trying to get to these, you get like almost to the final boss, and then like you get stuck on a freaking rock on the ground, and then poof, you get it just fury, just oh gosh. And then like you have to beat the whole level then with the little Lost guy without getting hit again, and it's just torture. So I found that like I did it so much that now when I'm playing other characters, I'm like, I got like PTSD, and I'm always like, where is he? Where is that son of a bitch? Where is he? Because I'm so used to doing that one character. Like, so that's what I mean. Like, you gotta like just focus on that until you finish it, then move on.
You just mentioned something that made me think of a good point to bring up, and that is when you learn a certain game and you develop like a skill base. Doesn't matter what it is. It could not just be a game. It could I could relate this to back when I was at university and you studied something. Like, if I tried to recall all the muscles of the body, I could probably name you 30 of them. But when I was at university, I could name 200. So, it makes me think of what I'm doing right now. Is I'm learning like all subdivisions of the world and stuff, and I learn them, but then it's like, am I going to remember these in a month, in 6 months, in 12 months? I'm trying to get into the habit of like regularly redoing all the quizzes that I've already got 100% in, and things that I'm like, yeah, I know that. You keep practicing them. But yeah, it's something that I'm really consciously thinking about right now, because I'm like pushing myself to learn so much. And it's like, are you going to push other information out that you've already learned? Is that a real thing?
It seems like the brain can only store so much.
So your brain, like, basically what your brain is and your body does is that it reacts to what it thinks you need. That's what it is. So it's like, if you don't work out, it doesn't make you muscles, because it's like, you don't need muscles. You just sit here and you're eating Cheetos. You're fine. You don't need that. But if you work out all the time and you strength, it's like, shit, this dude needs muscles. He's going to die. Apparently he has to lift boulders every day, or bears will eat him. I don't know what the hell he's doing. We need to make this dude some muscles. And so it's the same thing with your mind. It's like, it will retain the things it finds useful to you that you need on a regular basis, and just like deprioritize stuff that's not useful, or it's not being used, or it's just, like, it's a perfect, like you said, I remember being in school and I had to memorize every U.S. president, who they faced off against, what in the right order, and what political affiliation. So I didn't need to know like who ran first, who was his opponent, was he Republican, was he Democrat, or back then Federalist, or whatever the hell it was. There was more than one party, or more than two. And like, I remember I had all, like you said, I had all of that information stored in my head. I had it all memorized so I can do that for this stupid test. Took the test and it just, I couldn't tell you anything. It's gone. My brain immediately was like, F that.
Who was the president in 1968?
Bro, like, goodbye. Gone, dude. Gone. Like, I literally could tell you, like, Grover Cleveland ran against what year, and, like, who won, and, like, all this crap. Now I'm like, I barely could tell you, like, what number President Joe Biden is. Is he 45? Is he 46? What is that? I don't even know.
I remember the one when it gets to number 50. That'll be easy, and then you count backwards.
No, it's just like you said, like, you're not using it, you're losing it. So,
Joe joked before the show. I brought up that I'm learning all the Kabupatans of Indonesia in this, like 450, which is basically like all the counties of Indonesia, and it really helps in GeoGuessr. But is that information ever going to be useful in real life? You get in a plane crash and end up in a random island, and you're like, oh, I know where this is.
Exactly. You never know. You could get kidnapped and human trafficked, right? And like, you could be like, some person might have like a phone, and you could be like looking out through the slot in the box they keep you in, and you can be like, I see this certain type of sign. Oh, I'm in this county in Indonesia, baby. Come and get me. You see, there he is. Oh my God, they have these certain types of squirrels. There they are. You know, sorry, I don't know why I want you to be human trafficked, but this is the scenario I came up with.
I love it. I love it.
It could happen.
Yeah, you never know. You know, Andy can sell you out for a quick buck.
He's like, I'm giving you the real test. Work out where you are. Kidnapping.
You'd be like, come over my house, play some Xbox, mate.
Locations right.
In the box. Anyway.
Oh my God. So let's move on to something else. Brad, you started a website. Tell us all about that.
I did. I started it about a year and a half ago under another name, and rebranded it to NextPlay about April last year. So almost a year now. And at that time, I also recruited some volunteer writers that also share a passion in gaming. And yeah, we've been getting review codes quite steadily now. Prior to that, I used to buy every game I reviewed, which was very expensive. But yeah, we recently just reviewed the new Prince of Persia game, which comes out next week. So
that's
you
good.
you can read that at nextplay.com.au with a hyphen.
Nice, dude.
I'll bring the website up so everyone can see it.
I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, it's been getting really good reviews.
Mm-hmm. So I love Metroidvania style games. Like I'm like I know people like it's a cliche and people are sick of them, but I'm one of those people who are like, nope, keep them coming, please. And that's the same thing with like roguelites. People are like, I hate roguelites. I'm sick of roguelites. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I love those games. So yeah, keep them coming. I have no problem with them. And then I actually do like Prince of Persia, like the old ones. I remember playing them on PC back in the day. They were so much fun. Although I'm sure this is nothing like that, but
I love them back in the day too. And like Prince of Persia disappeared because it became Assassin's Creed, but it was its own thing, set in Egypt and set in the Middle East. It was a cool, fun platform where it was a little bit different to Assassin's Creed.
I've only played one Prince of Persia game, and it was on the Wii. It might have, I don't know, I don't even know what game it was, but you'd walk with the nunchuck and all that. It's interesting.
Yeah, the 3D games were dope. They were like really good games for the time period. Like I remember those being very quality titles. That had like the time shifting mechanics in it, right? You could like use the sands of time or crap like that, and like reverse time if you screw up and jumped off a cliff on accident or something.
This new game has time manipulation mechanics as well. Apparently.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, I've heard that the platforming is like pretty intense in the new game. Like it's like the character is like got a lot of moves in the movement set. Like you do a lot of different things like dashing and rolling and jumping and clouding and bouncing, wall jumping, all that crap. So I heard like it's pretty complicated, some of the platforming. Figsy looks like Skook Skywalker today. Yeah.
And Mr. Beast apparently.
Yeah, I got a Mr. Beast.
Dude,
ticking all the boxes tonight.
If you do become Mr. Beast, I will totally be one of your toadies that follows you around and
I'll be your best friend.
and puts his hand on things to try to win with it, whatever and that shit you want. Whatever you want me to do, man. Just let me know. Yeah, Brad too. All
right, guys. Joe's on a stranded island for 400 weeks. Let's see if he can survive.
Yeah, let's see how funny he thinks that human trafficking joke is now. Get in the box, Joe. This didn't work out at all.
Joe looks like he's got faith no more.
That's right.
I would say Joe looks pretty epic today. Not gonna lie.
Terrible. I'm rocking the Angel Dust. That's the best album. That's my favorite one for sure. Yeah, that real thing's amazing, but he sings with that super nasal voice. and like he stopped doing that as much. Well, he barely does it anymore and any of the other stuff. So I like what he did in Angel Dust. This is the best album they ever came out with. So you want to talk about Faith No More for a little while? I know all about them. They recorded that whole album, The Real Thing, before like Mike Patton was like even like in the band or whatever, basically. And they just like got him from another band called Mr. Bungle and asked him to do the vocals, and he like wrote them like in a very short period of time, as far as I remember, if I have my story right. And then they blew up, and then this was the first album they actually wrote together. I think it's a lot better.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot better to have input on the music that's being written if you have to sing over it.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I like Faith No More. I mean, I wouldn't say I love them, but I like them definitely.
My favorite band growing up.
Oh, nice. I didn't listen to them until like 2004.
Yeah. They probably were broken up by then. I don't even know.
I mean, like they were around when I was a baby. You know, I'm not going to be listening to them.
Yeah. They're dope, dude. This album's really good. King for a Day is really good. And those are their two best albums.
I remember
Real Thing's good too.
Birthday, and sitting around talking about bands and sitting around with like, you know, young people. So like we're all like 19, 18. I think one guy was like 17, just out of school. And I'm like, yeah, Nirvana's my favorite band. And then one of the guys turns around and says, "Have you ever seen them live?" Like full serious. Yeah, when I was like 1. 1994. Like what?
So Faith No More, gosh, they were playing in like Boston, and I was like 17 and I couldn't go because it was like an 18 plus show. And like I think my brother went, some other friends went, and then like they broke up like shortly after. I was still salty about it, but they've gotten back together, and you can go see them now, I believe, if you want to. I think they still tour, but I honestly haven't really like got into any of their new stuff at all. I checked it out, and I was like, this is okay. So Mike Patton, if you're familiar with Mike Patton, he's a madman, and he's in like 57,362 bands. Something like that.
I got a new side project, guys.
I saw a meme on Facebook that made me laugh. It's like, terrible news, everybody. It's been officially announced. Mike Patton has run out of bands to join. It's just like, he's like, that's it. He's gone through all of them. There are no more bands. He's done them all. So he has like his own label, and he has like a million things, but he's kind of eccentric. He's into like I have a feeling like he just doesn't want to do straightforward music at all. He does not want to do poppy music.
Is it the same type of thing where it's like featuring Snoop Dogg with a cameo from Snoop Dogg?
No, I mean like he has 52,000 bands where he's just the singer of the band. And he has like
Snoop Dogg's got like 1,200 songs or different artists that
he's featured
on. It's like a world record that he's got. I mean, he like till he makes money, he just sells like, I'll come on and spit a rhyme for 30 seconds. And like someone made a YouTube video about it and found like 50 songs all use like the same verse. And like all these rappers like made their one song around this one verse that Snoop Dogg reused.
Yeah, I could see that. So he's basically like the cameo, like, you know, you can pay someone to be on Cameo. He's like that, but for rap.
For music.
You could just be like, I'll give you $500, an ounce of nugs, and some In-N-Out burger.
But it's not just rap; it's everything. That's why there's like really weird featuring Snoop Dogg collaborations over the years.
Oh, that's true. He's like done stuff with like Martha Stewart and stuff. He's been on everything. Yeah, he's definitely he's like a brand at this point. He's not just he's like a.
Did you hit actually?
We didn't character almost.
Did you hear what he did? He came out on Twitter. He got in trouble for this. He came out on Twitter and said, "I'm giving up smoke." Just made a tweet.
Yeah. And
then all these people were like, "If Snoop Dogg's giving up, I'm giving up."
Oh my god!
Blah, blah. Anyway, like a week later, he posts a video, and it's this new like barbecue, smokeless barbecue, and that's what the "I'm giving up smoke" meant for, because he's now bought this barbecue that he's advertising, and like Twitter got up him, and like got in trouble for the post and blah blah blah. And all these people on social media went off. You don't care. You're getting paid like millions of dollars to do an ad, you know.
I mean, what he did is a genius. Is really what it is. It's
Yeah,
exactly
dude. No, the people that
you want it to
paid
have
for the
happen.
ad, genius.
Yeah, like. So I think that people need to understand that we've reached a point in our society where like positivity, it just doesn't sell, but like negativity and controversy and hatred and madness sells great. So people will just say and do things on purpose to irritate people just so people will talk about it on social media because it's free advertising. And then it literally is. So the logic is there's all these people out there that don't like what you do and they don't like your product. And so they're not going to buy it or visit or purchase it anyway. So if we piss all those people off, those people will be very vocal about how irritated they are by us. And then all the people that don't like those people will buy our product because they don't like those people. It's like that's the advertising business model that we have these days. It's like anti-advert. It's like we want people to buy it out of spite. That's what we're going for. We're going for the spite market. You know what I mean? And like it's true. And it's people are just wild. And what makes me sad is that I'm just sitting here over here eating popcorn, being like, I can't believe how easily manipulated everyone is. You guys don't understand what's like. Do you not see what's going on by now? Like it's just this big stupid game, and you guys are all playing it. I don't know why. Like advertising in general is hilarious. Like I don't buy anything that's advertised to me. Nothing. No. There's nothing.
I want and then change.
I don't buy anything, and it's like very frustrating. I'm being forced to watch all of these ads for something that I will not buy. And guess why I don't want to buy them? Because your ads are fucking annoying. That's why I don't buy your shit. I won't buy it because you're annoying the crap out of me. It's like
American ads are so bad. I get them when I watch sport, and it's just like, oh my god.
The voting.
We don't get ads over here for like pharmaceutical prescriptions and things like that.
Well, what makes I've reached the age. I'm in my 40s now, so all my ads are like, "Your penis broken? Did your dick not work? Do you need help with your dick?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. Why did I get on this list? Get out of here with that." You want to hear a funny story about being on a list? This is a true story, dude. So my roommate, who's a dude, he's an Asian man named Dave. He ordered a little stool. He wanted a little footstool. I can't remember why he wanted it, but he wanted it like when he was sitting there for his posture or whatever. He wanted this little stool. And so he ordered this little stool online. And it was just called like this stool, very basic ad or whatever. And it shows up. And what it actually is it's a breastfeeding stool. That's what it is. So I'm sitting there one day and I get this thing and I'm like, why did you buy a breastfeeding stool? What are you, something I need to know? And he's like, no, I just needed a stool. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But that's not what's funny. What's funny is somehow that's like put him on some sort of like mailing list or purchase list. And now he keeps getting sent baby formula in the mail. And he keeps getting sent these samples from Similac and from all these breastfeed, all this baby, like all this breast milk shit. And like I am dead because it keeps happening. This has been going on for like a year and a half. Where randomly we'll just get something in the mail. I'm like, oh, more breast milk. Oh, here you go, buddy. He's like, what the fuck? Why do they keep sending me this shit? I'm just like, dude, I don't know, but it is so funny. And so like one day I ordered something online. I don't remember what it was, but it came shipped, and the person who shipped it to me shipped it in like a diaper box, like a big box, like it was like an empty diaper box. And so I took like a label and I put it on it and I put it there and I taped it all up and left it for him. And he's like, walks in, he's like, what the fuck? Now they're sending me diapers.
That's funny because I've got diaper boxes upstairs that I use as mailboxes. So I hope whoever I'm sending it to has a roommate they can play a joke on.
God, it's just so random and funny, dude. Because he's just like, I don't know why they keep sending me personal stuff. I don't know, man.
My God.
Hey, are you guys ready to play the Figsy quiz?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should. We should get off this topic at least.
All right, before we start the quiz, we will get into the chat question first, which I forgot to upload, so we got it on this screen. So, chat, here's your question tonight. You have to name the video game.
Game has whores at the end of it. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, we're chat are thinking about that one. Let's get into the quiz.
Oh,
Brad,
yeah.
you're a guest tonight. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, Brad will be on first tonight. So tonight's quiz is going to be separated by two separate questions. I made one of the questions and Pavel made the other question. Pavel's question is way better, so we'll start with a crappy question that I made first. No photos or anything. Basic. You don't get any special effects with me. I'm sorry.
Hey, did Sean get the chat question right?
Let's have a look. That is incorrect, Sean.
Okay.
All
Damn
right.
good guess, sir.
So my question will work like this: there's 4 points up for grabs. The Game of the Year nominations in 2015 are: there were 5 games nominated for Game of the Year in 2015. The Game of the Year was The Witcher 3. Now you guys are going to take turns in naming the other 4 Game of the Year nominations. There's 3 strikes available. Brad, you'll be going first. You're up, Brad. So The Witcher 3 took out Game of the Year. I need the 4 other nominations. And just name one of them.
Okay.
I have no clue, man.
Tricky. Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 is incorrect. Brad's got 1 strike. Joe?
So this is 2015.
2015.
Oh my God. 2015. I think the PS4 was that even out yet? It was, right? Yeah, because Witcher 3 was the category. God damn, dude. You're making me think. 2015. Bro. I don't know any of these. I literally have no clue. I'm fucking Game of the Year nominations. And Witcher 3 won. I can't think of any games that would have won in other years. Dude, I don't know, man. This is impossible. I can barely remember what year it is now.
2024. What? What is that?
Bro, 2015 seems like a lifetime ago. But I'm trying to remember like what I was playing back then, what came out.
I'll give you 10 seconds on this one, Joe.
Yeah, pass. Just give me a strike. I literally can't even name one.
So
Dude.
we have 1 strike each. I will give you guys a bit of a hint. Now, all 4 of these games are all AAA games. There's no games that you're like, that got nominated. Every single one here is a huge AAA game that costs millions of dollars to make. And we have multiple systems. 2 of them are exclusives, and 2 of them were on multiple systems. Brad, you're up.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne was correct. Brad takes the point. Joe?
I legitimately can't name a single game, bro. I'm just gonna pass and fail this category if Brad would like to name them.
No, there will be more clues. So.
Dude, I have no idea. Legitimately, I have no idea what year games come out. I don't store that information in my brain in any way, shape, or form. Mario Odyssey.
Incorrect. Joe's got a second strike. All right, so we're moving on to the third round. So we will have another lot of clues. So Brad correctly named Bloodborne, which was the PlayStation exclusive. I can reveal there is one Nintendo exclusive, and then the other two games are both multi games in the series. So one of them is the fourth title in the series, and the other is the fifth. Brad, you're up.
Far Cry 5.
Incorrect. Joe?
Splatoon.
Incorrect. Joe is locked out. I'm going to give one more clue. One of these games they're developing. So one of these games has had sequels made for, or more games in the series made. One of them they're developing another game for, and one of them is a series that this was the final game in the series, and there'll be another one.
Uh, Red Dead Redemption.
Again, good answer. Red Dead 2 would have been a good answer too. But again,
really?
incorrect. Brad's locked out. The answers were Super Mario Maker,
Oh,
Fallout 4, of course they're developing a new Fallout, and Metal Gear Solid 5.
I was
So
trying to
maybe-
work out which Wii U game was on that list because that was before the Switch came out.
Yeah. No, exactly. That was a tough one there. I didn't even think about that. I'm just thinking Switch games in my head. So you're on it there, Brad.
I went for Splatoon. I'm like, that's old as shit. That was on the Wii. I have no idea.
No, Splatoon was on the Wii U, so Splatoon was a
Yeah.
very good answer.
Yeah.
I think that was 2014.
All right, guys, we are at the halfway point in the quiz. Joe's yet to score. Brad's got the lead of 1 point. Now let's move on to Pavel's questions. So the way this is going to work is Joe will go first here. I'm going to show you guys a photo of 15 sections of controllers. You have to name the controller that goes with each number.
That's cool.
You guys will have 3 strikes, and you will be taking turns one at a time. Joe, you're up first. So the numbers are on top and the image is underneath.
Oh, well, let's bang out some easy ones. Let's do 10. Wait, the number's on the top. So 7 is the Switch.
7 is the Nintendo Switch. Joe takes a point. Brad?
10 is the GameCube controller.
10 is the GameCube. Brad takes a point. Joe?
4 is Super Nintendo.
4 is the Super Nintendo. Joe
Or
takes a
Super
point.
Famicom, or whatever you want to call it.
Brad?
14 is the Wiimote.
14 is the Wii Remote. Brad takes a point. Joe?
3 is the NES.
3 is the NES. Joe takes a point. Brad?
15 the Xbox Series remote.
I'll give that. 15 is either the Xbox Series or the Xbox One controller. Brad takes a point. Joe?
2 is N64.
2 is the N64. Joe takes a point. Brad?
Is 1 the Sega Genesis?
1 is not the Sega Genesis. Brad has a strike. Joe?
8 is the Master System.
8.
5. Excuse me, 5. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong number. 5 is the Master System. That was wrong.
5 is the Master System. Joe takes a point. Right?
I actually don't know any of the other ones.
Yeah, it's starting to get tougher for sure.
Actually, is 9 the Game Boy?
9 is not the Game Boy. Brad takes a second strike. Joe?
8 is the Dreamcast.
8 is the Dreamcast. Joe takes a point. Right?
I'll pass.
All right, Brad's going to pass. I'll allow that.
11 is the Neo Geo.
11 is the Neo Geo. Joe takes a point. Now, because you passed last time, I'm not going to allow any more passes, Brad. So we've got 1, 6, 9, 11, 12.
I got 11.
Oh, we've done 11. 12 and 13.
Is 13 the Atari 2600?
Ooh, close, but that ain't it.
No, I want to give it, but it's incorrect. You know it, Joe?
It's Atari, but I don't think it's the 2600. It's either I think it's the Jaguar.
13 is the Jaguar. All right, so Brad, you're out. I will let Joe do the remainder. So, Joe, you've got 3 strikes still.
12 is the 3DO, I believe.
12 is the 3DO.
6 is the Genesis.
6 is the Genesis. Joe knows his controllers.
1 is the Philips CDI.
Incorrect.
What the hell is that one? It's a weird ass controller.
So
Okay.
we're missing 1. We're missing
9. I
9.
think.
And is that it?
I think that's it.
I feel like you can get 9.
Okay.
1's tough.
Yeah, 1 is very tough. 9 is familiar, but like I'm having a brain fart with it. Like I don't know. 9 is like I feel like I definitely should know. It's
You have 2 strikes remaining, so you can have 2
Yeah.
shots.
What the hell is 1? God dang it! I don't know. It's 9 is it? No, that's not. It's not TurboGrafx Duo, is it? Is it a CD engine?
Bow, bow.
No. Okay. Shit. What the hell is 1? Select start. God, what ungodly console is that? I already said the Philips CDI. It's not the 3DO. Is it? Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know these last 2. 12 is really familiar. It should be something simple.
9, you mean? All right,
9,
Joe,
yeah.
I'm you out here.
Okay, yeah, you are. Shit. All right, go ahead. What do you got?
So 1
the
was the
Virtual
Virtual
Boy.
Boy. That was going to be tough.
Yeah, when I guess that.
And then number 9,
Uh-uh.
it was for the
Gotcha.
Sega Saturn.
See, you know what screwed me? Because it was white. Like
Yeah.
the white was throwing me off big time. I'm like thinking in my head, it's like a Wonder Swan? Is it a goddamn like? Well, I don't know. I don't know. And then you said a handheld, and that made me like question everything. I'm like, oh shit, could some of these be for handheld buttons? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't think about that.
Well, guys, the way this finished up, Brad finished on 4 points, but today's winner with 10 points is Joe Rad. Congratulations, Joe.
Yay!
What's up, Dave? All right, just going through chat, I can confirm that Banfi has correctly answered Pac-Man Party. So the correct
Nice,
answer was
dude.
Pac-Man Party. You guys did get Pac-Man, but no one else got Pac-Man Party, so I'm giving it to Banfi. So the 3 girls at the party, we had some weird answers there.
Oh, no, He-Man looks like he's enjoying the party. Not picked.
So you guys got any pickups or games to show off?
Yeah.
I got one little one if you want me to do my one.
You can do yours first.
I got one too, so we'll smash our little ones out, and then Brad, you can carry us.
Mine's not even a game. I'm just gonna go real quick. Oh, you go.
Yeah,
Or no, I'll go. So I got Army of Darkness on 4K, the
Nice.
Ultra A Blu-ray Steelbook or whatever thingy edition. Because do you guys see that Evil Dead box right there? You see that with the red and see his head right
Yep.
here? So that's like a 4K collector's edition they came out with for the Evil Dead, and it has Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and the Evil Dead show. And it doesn't have Army of Darkness in it. Doesn't come with it. So that just like I couldn't even believe that. So it drove me crazy. So I have Army of Darkness on Blu-ray and VHS and a million other things, but I didn't have it in 4K. So I got this sweet steelbook to go with my cool collector's edition, so I can set it aside with it. And
So you can leave it sealed and never watch it again.
what's that? Oh, no, I'll watch
leave it
it.
sealed and never watch it again.
No, dude. I watch those movies religiously. That's one of those like comfort food things for me. Like I will constantly watch those. I watch the TV show a lot too. Hell yeah.
Well, I looked at something and I couldn't remember if I showed it off before. If I have, it was probably like more than a year ago, and it's pretty cool. So this was a exclusive to Europe. I don't know if it was UK or maybe Scandinavia. I would assume the UK looking at the box. So this is for the PS4. It's the Wizarding World Special Edition. It includes the Harry Potter collection on Lego games years 1 to 7. And then it includes Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the Blu-ray, and the Hogwarts Express pin, badge, and magnet. It's really heavy. It's probably like over a kilo. It has this massive big box.
God damn.
It's really cool. I really like it.
That's sick.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I bet, I mean, that's you want to talk about having some cross appeal with collectors. Holy crap. You got PS4 collectors,
I'm actually gonna wait
Lego
this-
collectors, Harry Potter collectors, Blu-ray collectors. Like, damn, there's like a lot going on with that thing.
It weighs 700 grams, if anyone's interested. So it's almost a kilo there. That's solid.
That's pretty
All
cool.
right, Brad, you're up. What have you got for us, man?
A Christmas present to myself was a new 3DS, like the new 3DS, because I only have
Nice.
the original, which is the
You got the Metroid one.
edition.
Beautiful.
Was it a new 3DS, or was it a new
It's-
3DS, or a used new 3DS?
A used new 3DS, but it's in very good condition.
Nice.
That's gorgeous, man. That is
is.
immaculate condition.
It
those,
is. I love it.
those things are super
A
expensive.
little bit of a mark there, but yeah.
Eh, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. I would love to buy that one. I'd love to get the Super Nintendo one or the Super Famicom ones. Honestly, both. They both look amazing. And then I want the Yoshi one really badly as well.
And
Those
all
are the three I'd really
Pokemon
want.
ones, there's so many nice ones out there.
Yeah, there are some really nice Pokemon ones too.
Also bought this from Cash Converters,
Nice.
Nice.
$99. Very
Yeah, nice.
excited for Rebirth next month.
Yeah, me too.
I bought that for, I think it was like $100, and then I ended up selling it for like $250 because the price went up, and then it went down again. So I'm kind of like, I might buy another one if I see it pop up.
And the next one I'm very excited about. It's
Oh,
The Art of God of War Ragnarok.
Wow.
that's good.
That is massive.
It is. It is.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's got like bronze.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got
that's cool.
what they call that.
I only got this the other day, so I haven't really had a look at it, but it's got lore and stuff in it too. And, yeah. Something
That's
like that.
amazing. So yeah, I feel like as time goes on, as collectors, this is what we'll be getting more and more. Then we won't be getting games anymore. We'll just be able to buy the art books, and we'll be able to buy the shirts, and we'll be able to buy vinyls, and we'll be able to buy stuff for the games, but we won't be able to buy the games. That's the future they want.
Yeah.
So if you want to be like, I love God of War, you can't buy the collector's edition. You'll have to buy a hat, or you'll have to buy the book, or a statue, or something like that. Which I do love all that stuff, but it sucks that they're going to take away the game itself. You know that's coming.
It's not like the collector's editions come with the game anymore. So
That's exactly. They couldn't be clearer about the way it's going, because they're just like, yeah, that's what it is now. That blows me away. They can charge someone $250, $300 for a game.
an art book.
And there's no
sorry.
goddamn game in the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, the art books or whatever, if they're expensive and rare, you know, it is what it is. But I just can't believe they don't include the games. Like the God of War Collector's Edition didn't have the game. It comes with a goddamn like Thor's hammer or some shit, but it doesn't come with the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I don't buy collector's editions, really. I buy deluxe editions, but I'm not forking out 600 Australian dollars plus buy the game too. That's
Well, it does come with the game. It comes with a download copy of the game.
I'm not
So do
interested.
you really own the game?
No, that means it comes with a rental code for the game, is what you're saying. That's yeah, it's a coupon.
I mean, it's a 2-year rental until they lose the license and so and so leaves the company and works for this one. And then, oh, shit. Guys, God of War's going to Xbox. We've lost it. See ya. So everyone just lost their games. I mean, we joke, but imagine saying that joke about Ratchet and Clank or Spyro the Dragon or Call of Duty or something.
Mm.
Crash Bandicoot. Like, it happens. You know, Xbox own these franchises now.
It's scary.
It'll be a dark day.
Well, the sad thing is there's so much content that would just be lost through acquisitions. Like, we could have 10 companies on PlayStation go to Xbox and vice versa. And everyone on Xbox loses all their games, and everyone on PlayStation loses all games. Microsoft and Xbox don't care. They don't care if you lost all your digital games. They don't care. They just sign some multi-billion-dollar deal.
Mm.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, I don't know. I just feel like when these big deals happen and these companies get purchased and they move ownership and they move here, like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the times it doesn't work out. Like, and the companies end up failing and they go out of business. And it's like this thriving, successful game developer who made this great game that everyone liked gets purchased by this other company, struggles on one game, and then gets shut down forever, and they're gone. And it's like, okay, well, then would they have been better off just staying put and, you know what I mean, and like making the games they're good at making and what they wanted to make instead of the game they got purchased and told to make. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. So like it's not good. And these transitions, you probably lose half the actual staff anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. The people that actually made the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just buying the names. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what Blizzard Activision end up doing. I'm curious to see. I feel like they're just on a downward trend big time, and I don't know. I don't see them being exclusive to Microsoft's going to help at all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It won't.
I don't know for the best, but it'll be interesting to say the least.
Mm.
Did you have more stuff you want to show, Brad?
Yeah, not recent pickups, but just stuff in my collection. Mainly controllers.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
The Ragnarok. All of these I'm too scared to use, so they stay in their box.
Yeah, see? I do the same thing. I got that one too. There they are.
And
I love the controllers, though. They are gorgeous.
and this
Yeah.
one
Mm-hmm.
That one's nice.
got imported because they only sold it in Japan.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. Mine showed up new, but the seal it wasn't sealed. Is yours sealed?
No, it is not.
Yeah. So same with me. Even brand new, I don't think those come sealed. So I did
Well, I
actually.
think A lot of
I did get to open that one and play with it a little bit because I was like, it's already open. Mm. I put it back in the box though. And
Yeah,
it's-
same.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
If there was a sticker, though, you would have never touched it.
Did you
I'm the same.
Did you? Are you? I am fucking still so salty about the Hogwarts Legacy controller, dude. Like I was like waiting online to buy that, and like in my cart type situation where it wouldn't check out, and then it was like
Yeah.
sold out, and I didn't get one, and I'm just blown away by how much those are going for now. It's absurd. They're like going for $250, $350 now already over
Yeah.
here. It's like holy crap.
I
But
missed
you know,
out on that.
nobody likes Hogwarts Legacy, apparently. It didn't get nominated for anything at all. It's a terrible game, guys, even though it's the #1 selling game of the year and everybody loves it and there's more hype around it than any other game. And its controller's worth $400 and, sure. But it's that's not nominated for anything. It's cool. That to me is still like blows me away, dude. I don't care if it wins anything. It wasn't even nominated.
A weird thing. Have you
Huh?
noticed there's like recent hate around Starfield, and there's this trend of people like hating on Starfield?
So, I
Yeah.
mean, well, that goes back to the point I was saying earlier. You can monetize that easier than you can make 1,000 videos on how much you like Starfield. Nobody will watch that or it won't get any views or clicks. But if you make videos on why you hate Starfield, that will get clicks and that will get monetized and that's the truth. That's just human nature. People like drama. They gravitate toward negativity, and that's like part of the problem with our whole like ecosystem of social media.
I've noticed the quality of Twitter's gone down since they monetized it. And people get paid for their posts, so they're now making more posts that go viral that are like, this is just bullshit. You're just like made something up that's not true, so people are going to retweet it and unfollow, block,
Yeah, and it's engagement farming is what it's called now. And so what I do is I just get 1,000 posts a day from people who are like, "Did you have a Super Nintendo? I had a Super Nintendo. What's your favorite game?" And I'm like, "Dude, go away!" Like I'm not participating in this stupid ass thread at all. Like I just it's totally like engagement farming. I don't know what else to say. It's not interesting.
Like for a like, I reply to every comment.
I don't know. Like you said, though, it's I don't know. I don't know what I expect from people. So you got to just remember, like, if you set up a system, people will figure out how to manipulate that system to their advantage. Always, no matter
exactly.
what. So that's why it's like so hard to do anything altruistic, because if you try to be nice or be kind to people or do something, nice for people, a million scumbags will immediately line up. Be like, how can I exploit this to screw this system over so I can get what I want and be a piece of shit? And it's like, it's just no matter what. And so it's like, I've always found that fascinating. That's why I like games a lot, because games, the rules are defined in the game world and they can't really be broken. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like you either win or you lose based on the defined parameters of the game that's been created. In the real world, there's no fairness. There is no fairness to life at all. It's in a game, you can go in, work hard, level up, you'll earn experience, you'll earn money, you'll get a benefit, you'll get rewarded for your hard work and effort. In the real world, nah, dude. It's like who you know. Is your uncle work for that company? Is this person going to give you the job? It's all just scummy. Everything's just disgusting. It's just all, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like that. The real world is no rules. People pretend there are rules, but there really isn't. It's every man for himself. It's like this dog eat dog crap society we have. So, yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Just jumping back on Starfield, Steam said it was their third highest grossing game of last year. Hogwarts Legacy was number 2 and Baldur's Gate was number 1.
See, I'm just going to jump in quickly because that's a thing that I jump on when people compare Starfield sales to Steam. Like Starfield was a free game on Xbox, so why are people buying it on Steam when it's free on Xbox? So that's the whole purpose behind the game. Like 90% of people are playing it with an Xbox subscription. Like that's how I played the game,
Yeah,
that's
People
impressive.
like going to sales, like comparing it to Skyrim, and like, look, more people playing Skyrim than stuff. It's like because 90% of people are playing it on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And I didn't
I
think
Baldur's
that's
Gate was
impressive.
free. Like it would completely change the sales numbers of that game. And it's like when things like this happen, you can't take this data seriously. You have to be like, all right, is that showing the actual numbers of the game, or is it showing just the Steam sales?
That's literally like, I don't know what that's not even a dig though, because like you said, that's like an alternative platform that it's offered on. And it had that much interest that it was third.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's crazy.
That's fantastic.
And
Yeah,
it
and like-
came out in September. Hogwarts
well-
Legacy came out earlier.
That's also impressive too. And then, what was I gonna
I'm
say?
actually surprised that Baldur's Gate wasn't number one, because Baldur's Gate was exclusive up until a certain point and became Game of the Year. And it's an amazing game. And if you want to play it, you buy it on Steam. How else can you play it? But you can play it now on PS5, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm scared to get into that game. It looks like it's going to be a time sink.
I started it, played 5
Yeah.
hours, and that's it. I really want to play it, but yeah, I'm playing something else right now, so I can't dedicate my gaming time to a big game like that.
I have like a completionist thing when I play RPGs, so I'm scared of
Completionist?
games.
Cancel this guy.
I guess yeah, whatever. I like to like.
Charity guys.
I don't know. That game just seems like too large. I think I would like. I have the same problem with like Zelda game, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and some of these games. I'm like, God, I'll put like 300-400 hours into this if I play this. I just don't want to do that. So I don't know. But then again, I am playing Final Fantasy 16, but how many? That's not like an insanely long game, right? That's probably like 40-50 hours, maybe tops. I'm guessing.
Depends if you want to do all the trophies and all the side quests and stuff.
I don't want to do all the trophies. None of that. I just want to do the quests.
It's probably like 30.
Yeah, and then that's fine with me. And it doesn't have like 55,000 different endings and 4,000 different ways you can play it and 62 different characters to choose from. You know what I mean? Games like where like you can like Skyrim is like you can play that game 30 times and have a good time, and it's just insane.
Starfield Skyrim on steroids, man. Like
Yeah,
I feel like I'm gonna return and put another 100 hours into that game and have a fantastic time. But
yeah.
I don't know if I've still got my save because I've had to reset my computer and I've redone my hard drive, so I've probably lost it all. But if I ever replay it, which is now looking like that's probably not going to happen.
Did you have anything else you were going to show up, Brad?
No, that was it.
Sweet. Let's go back to the thingy thing, and there we go. We did it. Very nice. Yeah, so man, I can only imagine. So you were buying all your games for your website, and you have to review them. So you must have been buying them all brand new too. Like, you can't, you can't. That if you're reviewing games, you kind of have to be like right on the release date to be relevant. So
yeah.
Oof, it's gotta be intense.
Although it was just me reviewing, so it was probably only like 3 or 4 games a month, which is still a lot, but yeah.
That's a lot to do. To buy it,
And
to play it, to review it. That's a lot of work.
That was like probably for 8 or 9 months. So yeah.
What are
I
some
was
of the other
working
games
hard.
apart from Prince of Persia that you've been able to been sent copies for to review?
Assassin's Creed Mirage, Starfield, we did get that, but I had Game Pass anyway, so it was like null and void. I had it for free anyway.
And you didn't get it like a week early or anything?
No. Only the larger outlets got that earlier. We got it in that pre-order.
Yeah, like the window between
thing.
the game's
Yeah.
available and Game Pass get it on Friday and things like that.
Yeah. But yeah, almost everything we've reviewed in the last 4 or 5 months have been given to us. We don't really buy games unless we really want to.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
Have
the
you
dream.
got like a certain genre where you don't want to play it, or say reject any games, or you just sort of take any?
Yeah. Oh, like we're signed up to like these press sites that I probably get like 3 or 4 emails a day from like really small studios, and if it just doesn't look like something I'd enjoy playing, I'd pass on it.
Yep.
But yeah, rhythm games I'm terrible with, so I'll never review one of those.
Send them over to Joe.
Yeah.
I'll review them. I love rhythm games. They're my like one of my favorite genres for sure.
Just slap your name on it,
It was hard reviewing Starfield because it's such a huge game. It was unclear whether to keep going or like stop and write the review. Like, had I seen enough, it was
I actually 100% relate to this because when I started playing it, Andy was like, "You want to make a podcast about Starfield?" And I'm like, "Well, wait till we finish it." And I'm like, got halfway through, and I'm like, "Oh, do we do it now, or do I keep playing it?" And like, put 120 hours in, and I haven't finished the game, and like now it's kind of a sour note because it's been time since I put in, but I did love my 120 hours. It's just.
I loved it too. I think I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. One of those. I was an outlier. There were lots of lower numbers, but I really loved it.
You put a lot of time into it as well?
Yeah, probably like 80 hours.
Yeah, and I think that's key. Like, you don't see the whole game in 80 hours, but you see enough to be like, I could sink another 300 hours into this and like really give it a go and clear full galaxies yourself, and you probably like did a couple of the main storylines and like the side stories in that are the best side missions I've played since The Witcher 3, where it had that side quest. I do feel like a few of the missions were designed by AI, but they did all feel unique, and I love like the different accents of different planets. Yeah, there were so many really cool things about that game. I love hoarding in video games. Like, they made collecting items so good in that game.
I think everyone just wanted it to be Skyrim 2.0, which it is, but I don't think there's ever going to be a game that's made the impact that Skyrim has. So, like, everyone's just going to be let down if they continue wanting that next Skyrim.
Well, GTA 6 has kind of got the same problem right now. If GTA 6 isn't the next GTA, like I mean, that sounds silly, right? But if it doesn't have the same impact that GTA 5 had, like if it comes out and gets 8.5s, for example, that's not good enough. It needs to get 99s and like perfect 10s, and it has to be the video game that the 60-year-old news reporter's going, Grand Theft Auto 5 just broke sales records and people are all calling in sick to play it. And like, it has to have that kind of impact, because if it doesn't, it'll look like a failure. I'm sure they've put in billions of dollars at this point into not just marketing, but, developing the game and hiring celebrities to be in the game.
Yeah. I would be surprised if it wasn't the fastest selling game of all time when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's been hyped for ages.
I bet it'd be the most pre-ordered thing you've ever seen in your life too.
And I feel like it's at the point where it's almost too big to fail. Like they've left that long of a gap that it's easy to design a game that big, and they've got all the money in the world, so they can hire the best people in the world. So in theory, they should do a good job, but we'll see.
I think the collection edition should come with like a Mac. Like a Uzi and like an ankle bracelet, like a tracking GPS police bracelet, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, you laugh. Some of their collector's editions, man, have been like pretty full on.
No, they should be insane. It should be insane. Yeah, it'll do really well. I'm hoping. So the PS5 Pro, you think that'll get actually announced soon? Because I'm hoping like this lines up with that. Then like this game looks like I want it to be.
Like, Pro might not even be a thing at this point. Same as the Switch too. Like it mightn't. I'm not believing these are a thing until like we see solid proof or we see leaks where Sony have like sued the people that have leaked them, like with what happened with Rockstar. So they're real leaks.
Fair. Well, they said they weren't manufacturing the original consoles anymore. They're just doing the
No.
Slims. So
Doesn't mean that they're onto a new one, though. You know, I feel like these companies would hold off as long as they can, and because it took people so long to actually get a PS5 in their hands, I feel like they've got that. Oh, we can now delay it like 2 more years, and you know,
I'd be fine with that. I'm down with that. I liked that, like the game systems, to get some mileage out of it and get fleshed out a little bit, because I was one of those people too. I couldn't get a PS5 for the first year and a half they were out, and
Nintendo are the same. Nintendo could keep with the Switch for 2 more years, do it even 3, and they're still going to sell as many Switches and as many games as they want, because they hold all that power, you know.
Oh, I want a new Switch bad.
Yeah, me too.
I'm 100% done with the Switch. I would like to move on for sure.
But if they release a new Mario game, you're going to buy it, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm saying, yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing that Nintendo have so much pull that they don't have to. It's the same as Rockstar. If Rockstar didn't have all that pull, then we already have GTA 6. You know, we also have Red Dead Redemption 3 and Bully 3 and all these other games. But because they're that successful, it's like the success causes all these other projects to die and causes them to just sit on the money and keep counting the money. And unfortunately, it's true.
Yeah.
Rockstar's best period was in the early 2000s when they were a struggling company. You know, they were popping out games every 3 months.
That's why DLC and live content sucks. This
Yeah.
is why, because it artificially extends the longevity of these games forever. We don't get sequels. And that's the truth. That's why I hate it. Like DLC, like we didn't get DLC. They would just make another goddamn game, and it would usually be a crappier version of the first
Yeah,
game
we
using
don't
reused
get
assets,
games
and it wasn't as good. But that's fine. I don't care. Give me the sequel. That's good. I'm cool with that.
I bet they're designing Grand Theft Auto 6 around this concept, and it's called a forever game. And it's like your Fortnite or your PUBGs or your Dotas or your Counter-Strike. It's not a game to have a sequel. It's a forever game. Like Counter-Strike got a new game, but it's still the same game, you know? And the game doesn't get a sequel. It gets an update.
Yeah.
And that's what all games are going to want, because that makes more money than developing a new game. You know? That's why we're seeing companies like Sony just remaster The Last of Us. It's cheaper to do that, and they know they're going to sell copies.
Whatever. Fine. I'm not down with that, but you know, making these games that cost hundreds of millions of dollars are a little differently, I suppose, than pumping out old PS2 games. So might have been different back in the day. I'm sure budgets were a little smaller, and you know, just what you had to do was a little easier to do compared to what they do now. Because you know, it's like these games are, you know, absolutely absurdly complicated. So I don't know, but I don't know. I'm honestly just anti online games. Like I just don't like them as much. I have had fun with them in the past, and there's some games I got addicted to, and we talked about it. But like I don't know, I just so much prefer a single player experience offline.
I'm the same. Look, I can enjoy online experiences, but I don't want to get into a new game that has.
I like optional multiplayer. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. But like, I don't like games that.
I know there's a big community there. That's great, but that's the only way to play. I'm not getting into it. You know, I don't get into MMOs. I don't care how good they are. I don't want to get into them because I know what those things can do. Like, you know, I know they can be fun, but I don't want to have to sink 1,000 hours to have fun. You know, I want to have fun within a couple of hours.
Yeah, and like I don't like necessarily, like when I played Elden Ring, like I never asked anyone to help me come do anything. I never opened up my game and let them. I would never, like, I want that to be a single player experience. Like I don't want it to be online.
Joe.
No. And then there's the stuff about them that just sucks too, because like, you know, there'll be like trophies or achievements where it's like kill 5 people in PvP matches, where, you know, down the line there will be no one online to play against, and you can just never get that.
Well, actually, funny you mention that.
It's irritating.
Right now, there's like a month until the Dark Souls 2 servers on PS3 shut down, and you can get the trophies without playing online, but one of the trophies goes from like a 20% drop rate to like a 1% drop rate without PvP. So like people right now are all playing Dark Souls 2 on PS3, getting the trophies and helping each other, and like eventually there might be fan-made services. So for Demon Souls on PS3, there's a fan service that you can play online. But there was like 5 years where you couldn't play that game online.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Like
It just sucks. There'll be a point where PS3 online isn't a thing. Sony will just be like, "Doop, we turned PS3 online off. Sorry, guys."
Trust me, I know it's coming. Yeah,
Hey,
like.
let's get to some of the Discord pickups.
Oh, cool.
So you guys might not know, but I got hacked on Discord, and support haven't got back to me. It's been a few weeks now, so we have made a new Discord. If you're in the old one and you want to join the new one, it's really simple. Just jump into the old one, go in any single room, and every single room will have a link to the new one. Where you just press the link and then leave the old one. The old one will be left up as like an archive if you want to see all the posts or anything like that. But the new one's got all the full set lists and everything else is over there, so it'll look exactly the same. It's got a new section for roles, so you can pick if you're a collector or a YouTuber or a streamer or a gamer, or if you just play GeoGuessr and you want to have a little globe next to your name. So there's lots of fun stuff in there. And if you haven't joined the Discord, the link's below. It's kind of fun that we're starting again. It gets rid of all the inactive people and gets just the people that really want to be there. It also sucks, but I always try and look at the bright side of things. So we have some pickups from you guys in the Discord. This is in the new Discord. So links Chris in the page. And with his first pickups of 2005, we got some shoot 'em ups here. We've got a couple of Radiant titles, R-Type Final 3. I'm not familiar with this one.
Yuri Kill is a really weird ass game. It's a shmup and it's a visual novel.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's very weird. Yeah, so it's like you do like these little visual novel sections, and there'll be like little puzzle sections sort of you have to get through, and then all of a sudden it's shmup. You're flying around shooting stuff. It's really out there. It's cool though. It is interesting. I'll give it that. It's unique. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite game, and as a shmup player, it's the antithesis of what you want, because the shmups are like all about this like pure adrenaline. Like just jump in and go. You know, the pacing is just insane. That's what it's like. I don't know. It's very, very stimulating. And then to interrupt that gameplay with like story that's very long, like 20, 30 minutes of VN sections. It's like, you're like, I don't know. By the time you get back to the shmup, you're like asleep. I don't know. It's weird.
I've got the new Cyberpunk on PS5 with all the updates. I always wanted to get this Void Tremolo. It had a cool. It was one of the. I'm pretty sure it was the first NIS PS5 game. Like it was literally like when the PS5 launch titles came out. It was out. We're gonna have a Trails game here, and then is this Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, that's the Security Breach. That's the newer game, which I think that's getting a sequel to. What's that Void game? What is it? Is it an RPG or what the hell is it?
No, it's a JRPG. It's an NIS America title. I like the titles. They're all kind of quirky and they have nice artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on, Lol's got some pickups too. I've got Jaws and The Sopranos on PS2. Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. Oh, Tony Hawk's Project 8. That's such a good Tony Hawk's game.
Dude, I actually picked up Arctic Thunder like a couple months ago. I really like that game.
It looks cool. It looks like fun.
Yeah, it's like it's a little arcade racing type experience on the sleds there. That Rygar game's fine too. I love Rygar on NES.
Nice.
Although that was Rygar on NES was one of those games where as a kid I remember playing it and beating it, and as an adult I can't get anywhere in that game. Get my ass kicked. I'm like, how the hell did I beat? Like, there are several NES games that I remember beating as a child that now I'm like, dude, I can't even. Forget it. Like, what the hell? How is this even possible? I must have really played this a lot.
Oh, we got some bangers here. We got the Punisher and the Pac-Man Power Pack. Let's go. That's cool.
That's sick. Yeah, that Punisher game's dope. That's pretty expensive now, I think, right?
Yeah, in both regions. Oh, Turner coming in with the
Oh, there it is.
bangers.
Game of the
Turner's
game
got
of the year.
2 copies of the Game of the Year, the Lord of the Rings Golem.
It was so nice you had to buy it twice. I'm like looking, is there a variant? Is there a difference or something? Nope. It's just 2 of them.
We'll get into the memes as well.
All right.
Link posted this month. Golem's Revenge, the trap card.
Yeah. For 24 hours.
They should be forced to watch The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's too tight, I'm stuck. Wait. Step bit, what are you doing? Man, I'm dead. Devs, we need you to design an attractive male character. What? An attractive, you know what attractive means, right? Yeah, of course. I think that's to do with the first one. If you guys want to see your memes, jump in the Discord and post them in the memes to meme section. If you want to pick your roles, you just scroll down to roles, and then you can pick what role you want. And yeah, it's heap of fun. Jump in the Discord, say good day, share your collection, and we'll see you guys over there.
How come male prostitute's not on there?
Do you want that one?
Yeah.
I mean, I can add it just for you, Joe, if you really want.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, no, because then someone will probably like send me something. So never mind. That joke didn't work out.
Oh, there's one of these in here.
Yeah, no. A bunch of feds. You want to meet up?
If you do can't find a role, though, just let me know. If you're real serious, send me a message, and I can add it as an extra role. So, yeah, want everyone to be felt included in the Discord.
So can I go into the old Discord now and post really inappropriate things?
No, every room in the old Discord's been turned off, so you can't post it anywhere in the old.
Ah, man. Ruined
Yeah.
my fun. I was going to get that thing shut down for good.
I mean, I already lost it. Get what shut down?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you can't have it, burn it to the ground, baby. Let's go in there and just post me.
No, it's sad.
apocalypse
So
on
many
that
cool
thing.
posts in there because everyone shared their collection over the years, and yeah, there's some really cool stuff in there.
Oh my god! So all that poetry I wrote you is gone.
All the poetry's gone.
Man, what about those special pictures? Is that all gone too?
Well, that's why I called it the archive. So it's just staying up.
Okay, that's hilarious.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah,
The hacker.
it's true. It's true. I was actually gonna like buy like an anonymous mask and wear it on the podcast and be like, I don't know what happened. But I don't want to spend money on the joke, so
That would have been so worth it.
you'd feel like I'm like, I don't know why you keep accusing me. I have no idea. It was because I watched, you know what it is? We were talking about the movie Hackers. Remember we were talking about that a couple episodes ago? And I was like, I got to do this. And so I put on my hacking glasses and I walked in. I got into the Discord and I went through the Discord tunnel. There was like all these doors with skulls on them. And I was like, and I hacked in just like the movie. Dude, I think I might have to buy that on DVD now because I talk about it so damn much. Like I should own it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, on 4K Blu-ray at this point, right?
Yeah, see, I'm afraid of what's going to happen, though. I'm afraid that I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm like, this movie sucks. I think I liked it in 1996 or whatever the hell it came out.
It's like when you found an old PS1 game today, and it's not like a good game or anything, and it's not as good as you remembered it. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have played that one. Oh.
What for PS1? What breaks my heart is a lot of the games. It's the controls. It's not the game at all. It's just I like go
I
back.
didn't
and
have
I'm like
D-pad.
Yes.
That up, down, left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's before analog was really a thing and DualShock was a thing. It's like a lot of the games were just designed, and it was like, very early in the system, so like people were like just making it up as they go. Like this one makes sense to me. Like I don't even know. So, so that's why I actually am looking forward to a lot of I'm really looking forward to the Tomb Raider remake, because I don't even care about the damn graphics if it's updated with modern controls and I can play it without falling.
You can actually jump off that ledge. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
exactly.
I'm struggling so hard to do the basic shit in that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so just the controls, like you'll be like, dude, I don't have the patience for this. Like back in the day, you did, because this was your brand new game, cutting edge. You have all the time in the world to figure out how to do this. Like you didn't
They
care.
can definitely do it right. Like I think the Spyro trilogy got such a good treatment in the remaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really did.
Crash Bandicoot, yeah, it went alright. It's like the first one's a bit because they didn't do it like the original and the controls are a bit weird. But that Spyro trilogy was amazing. They're apparently doing a new Spyro game this year. They tweeted on the official Spyro the Dragon account, like 4.
Good. We need some more of that. I don't know why Sony. I mean, that's a good thing.
Sony, Xbox, bro.
Oh right, yeah. Fuck, that's messed up.
What do you mean Sony? Xbox owned that company.
Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude.
That game we played as kids on PS1's owned by Xbox.
The original Spyro games are some of the best that still held up, I think, on the PS1. They still look fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
PS2 Spyro games
really good.
But
yeah,
hey, some of the Crash Bandicoot games on PS2, I swear those companies just were like, okay, we've made money, we can just put anything out at this point, and that's what they
Yeah.
that's exactly what happens. It's like I said, they make their money, and then the second they release it, and somebody else makes it, and it's a cash grab, and it's not as good. And like I said, I'd still prefer those to DLC. I prefer that crap. At least I got a sequel. At least it's a complete.
It's crazy how things work. It's like if it becomes successful, it's going to get to the point where it becomes too successful, and you don't get another game. I got something to ask you, Joe. Are we seeing the same thing with Stardew Valley and the new game? Like the new game, we mightn't see that for years because there's old mate's making so much money with Stardew Valley. There's new content coming out for it soon. What's the new game called?
Haunted Chocolatier, I think.
Haunted Chocolatier.
Yeah, it's like.
And I'm a massive fan of him too, and I'm sure he'll still deliver a good product. But I feel like he's going to get to the point where he suffers from the same success,
So, with that guy, I mean, he makes the games by himself completely. Is like he does it I don't think even as a team, right? Like just him. So
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah.
I think what he does is he gets burnt out, and he bounces back and forth between the two projects. And so like he worked on Haunted Chocolatier like nonstop for like a couple of years, and he was just like, I wanted a break from it. And he went back and did some Stardew stuff and updated Stardew. And honestly, like, it's up to him. It's probably like refilling his coffers.
But my concern is he's now like, obviously he's a multi-millionaire because Stardew Valley is one of the biggest games in the world. So he might also be like, I'm going to go to Bahamas this week and just chill on the beach for a week and not work on either of my
George R. Martin, it, you mean? Just never comes out. That's what you mean.
But like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do the exact same thing if I was in his situation. But we got Stardew Valley when people weren't meant. This game wasn't meant to be the biggest game that it was, and I'm so glad that it did become the game that it was. But I feel like because of that success and his whole philosophy on I want to make the game by myself and I don't want any external help, that he'll continue to go down that road, and it'll be a long time until we see new content.
What pisses me off about it is that my Stardew Valley I have on PS4 is like an ancient relic compared to what the game is now. My collector's edition from Japan, the version of that is 32 years old. It's like
2016 that game came out.
Yeah, man. So like what pisses me off is like all the physical versions of that game are just so dated now. Like so I don't care what happens. It would be nice if it was finished and it just had a complete edition released with all the content on one cart. That's all I care about. I just don't like the fact that like all that work on Stardew Valley, like I don't know, like my carts don't have any of that on the content.
I would argue that
I don't like
I'm
that at
still
all.
content because when the game came out, it was still a full game to me. Like it's not like it's
Sure.
unplayable or anything. But
That's true.
100% right. Like I'd still love, another PS4 copy that is all on the disc once the game's finished. That would be cool.
Yeah, and he has to have like a I'm finished thing. Like when are you going to be done, buddy? Like I thought he was done 4 times. And he there's just more stuff coming out and more stuff coming out and more stuff coming out. So
It's crazy. He must be making money because it's free DLC. Like I'm sure.
yeah, it's free.
I'm sure he's making money somehow. Like,
Well, yeah, dude, it's still like probably one of the most purchased games digitally. I think
when like
probably.
100 million people play your DLC, there's got to be money involved in that. Like whether it's advertisement deals behind new items in the game, or I don't know.
Maybe he just likes to do it for fun. He has so much money, he doesn't care.
Anyway, guys, on that note, we might call it a night. Thanks everyone for watching. Brad, Thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I've left all Brad's links in the description. So if you want to go and check out the NextPlay website or Brad's Instagram, they're all down in the description.
Very cool.
Do you want to say anything before we go, Brad?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That was a heap of fun, man.
Yeah, man. Are you on like all the socials too? You on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Everything.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we'll check out the links down below. And thanks for coming. Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you guys next week. Peace, everyone.
You found the good